Known for her role on the hit show Entourage, actress Janet Montgomery is now mesmerizing audiences in the supernatural thriller Salem. We're so excited to have you here on this show today, Janet. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to you.
So the series is based on the Salem witch trials in the colonies of 17th century America, but there's a little bit of fantasy mixed in. Give us an overview if you would.
Yeah, you're bang on. That's pretty much where the story takes place. But what's great about the show is having the chance to rewrite history, sort of in a way that like Inglourious Basterds did with the way the war ended. This TV show rewrites history and gives these women who were like victims of witchcraft or victims of the Puritans a voice in society. And there's the supernatural element, which I think really makes the show a lot of fun to work on, and there's also a lot of horror references. Yeah, there's something for everyone, I think.
Sure, and tell us about your character. You play one of the deadliest witch in Salem.
I do. She's complicated is probably the best way I can describe it. You know, she is very deadly, and she definitely has a vision for what the new world that she's going to bring and unleash this Red Death upon America that's what she's fighting for, and nobody's going to stand in her way. But that all comes from a pain, and I think that she really just wants to see the world. The way the Puritans are running things is not going to work for her. I think that she sees that people should embrace music and celebrate art, and women should have a voice in society, and that's really what she's fighting for. So for me, that's how I connect with the character, rather than mass murdering lots of people for no reason.
Right. So you're heading into the second season. Are there any surprises that you could let us in on? Well, there's some new additions to the cast. Lucy Lawless is joining the cast, and she is a much more powerful witch than Mary, and she's much smarter and wiser, but she has to work with Mary at one point. So that's an interesting dynamic for the season. And then there are two other new characters. There's Joe Doyle, who plays Sebastian, who is Lucy Lawless's son on the show, and he is a very disturbing character. And Stuart Townsend, who plays a doctor who is identifying the pox that's hit Salem, and who Mary ends up sort of having a little bit of an affair with. Oh, we'll have to stay tuned for the details with that. And the set itself is so realistic. I don't think a lot of people realize that you're shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana.
I am shooting in Shreveport, Louisiana, yeah. And Grand Cane, which is a population of about 20 people, just outside Shreveport.
Wow. What would you say, Janet, is probably the most challenging aspect of your role?
I think working in television, where you are shooting like an hour drama in sort of 7 days and getting scripts, and it's sort of like a conveyor belt of like having to just work very quickly, and you only get a few takes at stuff. I think working within the confinements of the time period that we get to make the show is the most challenging, because you don't get the luxury of time and to know the full arc and the ending of the story. You're just literally like, you do one episode, you don't know what's going to happen the next episode. So it's exciting, but it also is like a challenge, because you make a choice and then you're like, oh no, this is what happens. I should have done something else.
Right, well, that makes sense. Well, we will enjoy Salem. We'll check it out Sundays at 10 p.m. on WGN America. Nice chatting with you. Thank you for being on CT Style.